It's not been bad. It's not been bad. I rocked a lot at my own. Been one of the biggest.
Turn the heat on.
Wait, Diane. Will you turn the microphone?
Yeah, I did turn it on.
Never mind. Guys, let me go home.
Wow, you're getting.
Yeah.
busy.
And I saw them.
What, there's the bathroom?
On Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, here a little earlier, so I wouldn't have to wait as long and.
Running late.
Driving down.
I have to turn on something. Okay.
Then it just takes.
No doubt.
Have to. So
Oh.
it's a little bit. Down in Springdale. Did my phone. I don't know if you get there, so okay. Again,
Not to sit.
Yeah, dude.
now I'm late.
I just started that place.
Yep, busy around here, just have a few minutes. Oh, you change traffic.
I was just wondering.
But I didn't know all of it.
I saw some. It's.
Always
It's good longer.
Nice, I get it.
Mile and a half.
I keep thinking, man, I did from.
At least it's on now. I went.
Coming in.
Day, but they
Turn it on.
Jeez, I've been through it.
Please send it. That's like-
Brian's on there.
Haven't synced it up.
That outlet inside.
And
Wasn't like that.
I have to widen that way through there. I guess that. I'm gonna go.
No. Bill, no.
Can you guys hear me?
Does.
Yes.
Okay,
Hi, Brian.
Oh.
how are you?
Just excited to be here.
Yeah. I'm right here with you. How do I turn on my camera so you guys can?
Yeah, also.
Drop straight set up.
Once they get it done, look at that 612 bypass. So the 612 bypass. Focus on.
Like,
28 round.
It's gonna be hard. I can't.
He lost all that.
Okay.
That's.
I don't know why I can't, that screen's not any bigger.
you know, I wish we could zoom it in. Screen's not useful anyway.
That's not, no.
He turned it, we got a check. Go around the dial like a dynamo. Versus the rest of it's kind of interesting. Still slowing down.
She needs one of those magnifying glasses. That you can just. Like a little prism.
All right, you guys ready? All right, we'll go ahead and get started this evening with the City of Centerton Planning Commission meeting, March 17, 2026 with the roll call. I'm here.
Joey Engel.
Here.
Tony Davis. Craig Langford.
Here.
Ben Lewis. Devin Murphy. Curtis Ramsey.
Here.
John Sessoms. Brandon Swoboda.
Here.
All right, thank you for keeping it on the wheels the last two meetings. Travel's become very interesting the last couple of weeks back there, so. First thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from 3/3 of 2026.
This is Joey. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from 3/3/26.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? All right, under new business this evening, the first thing we have is a public hearing. This is for conditional use 2604. It's a short-term rental at 501 Sun Meadow Drive. It is zoned R3 single family. It's a 0.24 acre lot 140 of the Center Point Phase 2. And the this is what you.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Ratification.
Sorry, I checked it, which is not good, out of practice.
Got rusty.
I did get rusty, so apologize. We do have one ratification of our admin approvals. It is a MP 2061, the PLA King Trust property line adjustment at 13301 LC Hickman Road. It is zoned residential estate. The parent tract is 95.15 acres, with tract 1 5.94, tract 2 88.81. Any questions or comments from staff or any of the commissioners in regards to the admin approval? If not, then I would entertain a motion.
This is Greg. I make a motion to approve the ratification of administrative approvals.
Second.
Motion and a second. You give it to whoever you want. Is anyone opposed? All right, now we're gonna move to new business. Again, this is a public hearing. It is for conditional use for a short-term rental at 501 Sun Meadow Drive. And Craig does need to recuse himself for the records. Okay. Is the applicant here to give us a quick overview of what you're requesting?
Yes,
Just state your name, what you're requesting, and there.
my name is Anthony Riazzi, and we've had, this is a rental home that my mother owns in a partnership that she set up. And we've rented it out for a number of years, but, and I think I stated this in the documents that you have. But we just want to turn it into a short-term rental. We think it'll actually be an improvement to the community because we'll take over lawn care, we'll take over. Well, it'll be, well, we'll fix the house up nicely for short-term rental. And the gardening interior of the home and renovation in our house. We've taken good care of the property in the past. But sometimes we get tenants that don't mow the yard regularly, et cetera. So this is something where then we just take it over, it's gonna be taken care of. And we expect it, we rent it to business professionals or.
All right. Diane, you want to give us a staff overview?
Yes, the applicant is requesting a short-term rental at 501 Sun Meadows Drive. And it is 0.24 acres. It is lot 140 of phase 3 of the Center Point subdivision. And like they just stated that they are renovating, they're converting it from a long-term rental to a short-term rental through VRBO and Airbnb, and they're going to fully renovate the property and take over all aspects of the outdoor cosmetic upkeep, such as lawn care, gardening, different things like that, as they stated. So that way it will be more continuously kept up to date than rental.
We've been a lot happy with the way we've had a management company that's managed the property for us, and sometimes the tenants just, specifically this property, she was letting the grass get this high all summer long. After she moved out, we just said, let's just take it over ourselves and take care of it.
Yeah, in addition, the applicant intends to fully landscape the front yard and some hedges and small bushes and other improvements to increase the curb appeal of the property. There are no structural changes, except for a small outdoor storage unit to be placed in the back. Here's a picture of backyard right now. They have repaired the fence. The home is 1,413 square feet, consisting of 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms with a fully fenced yard. It is zoned, my paper cooperates, R3 single family, and it is also surrounded by R3 single family located there in that Center Point subdivision. Utilities to the home, they're already connected to sanitary water and sanitary sewer. The access is from Sun Meadows Drive, and it is designated a major collector on the master street plan, 80 feet of right of way, and it currently does function as a north-south access from West Centerton Boulevard to Bliss Street. And the current right of way of Sun Meadows is 50 feet. There are currently no sidewalks along there. It was built long before we started requiring sidewalks in all subdivisions. The current width of the road is only 23 feet wide, so it's not designated for on-street parking. It is not signed, no parking. But with the width of the road, it really doesn't safely accommodate anyone on street parking. We talked to Mr. Riazzi and said it would be great if you guys could make sure that you have that garage available for the tenants also, so that way there would be space for 4 cars. I mean, the driveway, you could almost fit 4 there currently without the sidewalk, but Also to include the garage to be able to allow for that parking. As stated, the site maintenance will be the responsibility of the property owner, and they are going to be hiring employees for the housekeeping and groundskeeping to make sure that it looks nice at all times. The covenants for the Centerpoint subdivision do not prohibit leasing or renting the properties within the subdivision. The rental agreement shall comply with all applicable laws and zoning requirements. Of course, the covenants are just a private agreement and we don't have anything to do with those, but it is allowed within the covenant, so there won't be issues for the owner, in the future. The applicant is asking for an indefinite period of time from the date of PC approval. That is up to you guys to consider if you do indefinite period of time. Expiration, it's for an indefinite period of time also, or if they sell the home and then, quit using it as a short-term rental, then it would be expired. Fire extinguishers, the home shall have a mounted fire extinguisher. And also in your packet are a list of the general conditions that typically go with the short-term rental. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Oh, it's a pretty long drive, isn't it? How long is it? Do you know?
It could probably fit 4 cars if they were compact. But I feel like we're only gonna have 1 car at the house and we'll make access to the garage available. So I think there'll be less traffic that you'll see out in front of the house. And then we wanna put like a box hedge by the driveway, and where that fence currently is, we're gonna just take that down. That's not a real fence. It's just kind of a decoration somebody put up. And then we'll put some stuff around the tree, tree trim, and put some bushes in the very front of the driveway. It's not in this picture of that street.
In the description, can you just put like no parking, no street parking or something like that? Can you
Certainly.
just-
Yeah, yes, we'll put in the description of street parking. But we'll make room. It's a 2-car garage and there's definitely room for 2 cars to park side by side in the driveway. I think if you had a long pickup truck, I don't think you could park a second of cars, but I really don't think we want to have anybody who's going to be bringing 4 cars. We're only going to make it available for 6 people. It's designed for a family or a business person who's needs to stay locally. That's the idea.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners before we open it up to the public?
We're gonna put electronic locks on the front door, and electronic access to the garage too. We'll just all be kind of. Well, I live just a couple blocks away, so.
Let's go ahead and entertain a motion to open the public hearing then.
Motion to open the public hearing, Ben?
Did I ask second?
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? We are now open to the public for conditional use 2604 short-term rental at 501 Sun Meadow Drive. If anyone wishes to speak, have any questions or comments, we'd ask that you come to the podium and state your name and any questions or comments that you might have. Mr. Rousey, if you'll step up just a second, we'll.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Allen. I am a resident of Centerpoint area where this will affect. I actually have a couple of concerns, mainly the fact that Sun Meadow is a major thoroughfare now. Unfortunately, it's gotten so large and Bliss has become such a popular street that we already have people that park there, even though they shouldn't be. So that was the main concern, was having people park there on the street, making it bad enough to go through with 1 car, much less 2. I also had concerns, my house backs up to the street where this is on the other side. So I am on Applewood. And one of my main concerns is the precedence this would set as we open up the area to other people that would want to do an Airbnb and have short-term rentals. So exactly how short-term is the short-term? Are we talking a day, a night, weeks, months? Because having foot traffic coming in and out, people moving in and out. And then, of course, maybe having more than the 6 people limit. Was major concerns.
I don't-
Particularly for, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was just saying, we're gonna limit it to 6 people. We're only gonna allow up to 6 people to stay in them. And it would be for a family, would be the idea.
That's the idea.
Some kids,
But
yeah.
in practice. What is the contingency there for that?
Yeah, so we'll answer it, okay? And then if we need some, we'll ask him. Otherwise, you don't need us, and then we'll be here for a long time. I understand. No, you guys are good. So how do we define short term? Do we say 30 days or?
30 days.
Okay. So let's say that a business guy was gonna be here for a 2-week meeting. They may want to rent it for 2 weeks, but the maximum that anyone could rent it would be for 30.
So the max would be 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so then if this passes, what is the, does this open it up for anybody within a certain within a certain mile, within the actual, subdivision itself?
It doesn't necessarily,
Decides to sell his house or kick out his renters and make it an Airbnb, is that allowed?
same process. So.
You have to be a hearing for that as well.
Correct. Yep, and here's the nice thing, and the reason that we do it this way right now is that, the conditional use is exactly that. Let's say that, they promise us the world. We can't police everything in town, but neighbors like yourself, let's say that there's a rager party and you get upset and you come and you complain, then we would invite them back most likely, and we would have a different discussion about why the condition wasn't followed. So that's the reason that we like the conditional use, because we can track it. And there's rules, if you will, such as in your agreement with no parking on the street. So it allows things to be set and opens up less questions. That answers your question.
It does. Are those conditions posted somewhere publicly that we can?
The meeting, tonight's meeting will be open, will be a public record, yes. And then probably on the website, right? You
Yes.
can get them off of the city website once the meeting's been posted. It's also recorded. There's a YouTube, it's YouTube, right? So there's a YouTube that's out there in case you're like, what did they say? You could always go watch the video as well.
Let's put in Centerton Planning YouTube page. Centerton Planning Commission.
And these guys are here all the time. So if there will happen to be another question, then, you could certainly come down and ask, or, there's a planning email as well that you could also email.
When would this start?
It's-
Effective immediately, like, could he bring in a renter tomorrow?
It should be effective immediately. This is not a city council.
We will
This will be
say-
immediately.
Approval letter to them that states all of the conditions. And once that's received there, they could start renting it.
And then they also get a business license.
Correct.
All right, well, those were my concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public that wishes to speak? Have any questions or comments? And third call for anyone that wishes to speak. And then I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is anyone opposed? All right. Any other questions or comments? Then with that, I would entertain a motion for conditional use 2604 short-term rental at 501 Sun Meadow Drive.
This is Joey. I'll make a motion to approve conditional use 2604, the short-term rental at 501 Sun Meadow Drive.
Second.
Motion and a second. If you'll do a roll call vote for me, please.
Ben Lewis.
Yes.
Brandon Swoboda.
Yes.
Curtis Ramsey.
Yes.
Devin Murphy.
Yes.
Joey Engel.
Yes.
Jeff Seifert.
I'm a yes as well. Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is subdivision 06F Phase 2, the Huber Place final Phase 2 final. This is the final plat in bonds. It's at North Tycoon Road. It is zoned R3 single family, 11.29 acres, 49 buildable lots, 49 dwelling units. Is the applicant here just to kind of give us a quick overview?
Good evening, I'm Dustin Higgins with Half. Pretty much summarized it like I was going to, 49 single family lots. Phase 2 of Huber Place. The one thing I did want to point out was there's a 3-year, 100% bond for the curb and gutter. I guess there were some construction joint issues during final inspection. So that's the remedy for that.
All right,
Any questions?
Tara?
This is Huber Place Phase 2 final. They're located off of North Tycoon and Huber Road. The size of Phase 2 is 11.29 acres. Street improvements have been completed. Covenants were approved with Phase 1. The zoning is R3SF. There was no like off-street right-of-way dedication for Huber. It was already done with Phase 1. And the approved bond amounts are in your packet. I will mess up those numbers, so. The density of Phase 2 is 4.34 units per acre. There are minor outstanding comments pertaining to the draft bonds. They're currently under review by staff. The site has passed final inspection, so no re-inspection is required. And like I stated, all street improvements have been completed with Phase 2. Final site inspection was conducted on December 11th of last year. All punch list items were completed and it has passed. This property is not located within a designated floodplain and there are no wetlands present on site. Any wells on site have been filled, capped, abandoned in accordance with state and local requirements. There were 3 known wells on site in Phase 1. Any septic tanks or lateral lines were removed per state and local requirements. The streets, drainage, water, and sewer bond estimates have been approved. Staff are reviewing the drafts of the bonds to confirm all information is correct before issuance. As he stated, curb and gutter, there's 100% of total for 3-year maintenance guarantees, and the amount is in your packet. Per Title IX, Section 9.02.08E, at the city's discretion, streets that fail to meet any aspect of these standards may be approved for incorporation to city public infrastructure. Upon presentation of a longer-term maintenance bond with a larger bond amount, depending on the circumstances, this could be up to 3 years and up to 200% of the street construction cost. This was utilized for an additional 1-year maintenance bond for the curb of one street due to the construction joints. And then streets and drainage and water and sewer are listed in there as well. Huber is 90 feet of right of way and was dedicated for the final plat of Phase 1 to meet the master street plan requirement. The road was constructed with Phase 1 to provide a total of 38 feet of pavement, 2 feet of curb and gutter, storm drainage, and 32 feet of green space on the south side and 5 feet of green space on the north side, and a 6-foot sidewalk on each side. These were also planted along the south side within the green space. North Tycoon, which you don't see directly on this phase, but is attached to Phase 1, had 50 feet of right-of-way dedicated with the final plat of Phase 1, which met the master street plan requirements. The road was improved to provide a total of 16 feet of pavement from the center line, 2 feet of curb and gutter, storm drainage, and 28-foot space trees and 6-foot sidewalks on each side. There are no outstanding staff comments on the final plat. The drainage report and record documents have been approved by all city departments with no outstanding comments. The building department has approved all the required compaction tests for Phase 2 of the subdivision. And there are just outstanding comments on the draft bonds. If you have any questions, let me know.
Questions or comments from any of the commissioners? Not, then I would entertain a motion for subdivision 2206, the Phase 2 final plats and bonds.
This is Craig. I make a motion to approve subdivision 2206F Phase 2 you replace final with final plat and bonds.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there anyone that's opposed? All right. Thank you. All right, under other business, schedule of uses. I think we're getting down to the wire from what I understand. So schedule of uses for commercial and industrial zonings.
I'm sure.
You guys are welcome to listen to us chat. If you don't want to listen to us chat, I will not be offended. You're all.
Cause we had a whole.
Oh, that's too close. Hang on a second. Let me find Happy Zoom.
What we're going through, this is for our heavier uses, and we're going through what's allowed, what's not allowed, what might need a condition of what we just went through and things like that. So that's what we're going through. But you kind of, I don't want to say if you don't want to listen, but
Can hang it. So this is essentially, you guys finished off the schedule from the last meeting. This was a portion of the scheduled uses where we either had, like, we differed, where staff differed, or we needed to do more research. So we did do more research. And basically, if there's anything purple, it's kind of what staff recommends, essentially, like what we discussed again. And what we came to the conclusion of is a. So, do we wanna do line by line? Did everybody review it? Nobody's. We have comments.
Everything on the very far right are that you requested us to revisit and do some research are the places that we researched and what their uses were as far as if they were conditional or permitted in those areas. And the PC comments are what you guys commented last time. But as Tara stated, everything in purples are comments from our research.
I think we have to go by line.
It's fine.
Unfortunately.
Thankfully, there's not a pile of them.
No.
We made it to a week and a half last time.
It was
No
fun.
pressure.
Jeff thought he was gonna miss.
Just for the record, I submitted my questions to them ahead of time.
Yeah, right.
So cemetery and mausoleum. I think this was a hot topic last time about not allowing it, like keeping it the way that it is to conditional. Staff thinks that we should change it to permitted in C2. I don't think cemeteries and cemeteries and mausoleums aren't like a hot topic. And they don't typically, you don't see people buying land off the highway to maybe put them in, but at the chance that they do, who are we to make them go through an extreme process? Also, what conditions would you set on a cemetery?
Setbacks.
I don't,
Yeah, but we have it in code.
Okay, so
Yeah, or we
Well,
have like setback.
me too.
I do have a question about this one, and can't remember. We went over so much, I can't really remember what we talked about.
That's fair.
And so forgive me.
So valid.
We don't have it. I mean, I'm looking at Bentonville stuff allowed in agriculture. I-1, I-2, Bella Vista, agriculture. We don't have it listed in agriculture.
We don't have our agriculture on here now. Sorry, Lauren. But it is allowed in agriculture. It is permitted, if I remember correctly. Because we were just trying to focus on the uses that were in the commercial and in the industrial.
But I just want to be clear, because that's a piece of information that we need to
Right.
know for the other. So it's permitted in agriculture.
Yes.
And industrial didn't make sense for something like this? Because industrial is on the outer parts of our community.
I mean, if she zooms in, it's gonna cut off the
Yeah.
staff findings, so.
What do you want me to zoom in on? No, I mean, I can, let me.
Oh, Excel. The animal you are.
Let me try to zoom in a tiny bit more. I think we were looking at, to answer your question, Brandon.
Mhm.
When, is that a little bit better? when we were looking at the I-1 and I-2, because we have such limited space, that we were kind of looking at them also, do we want to use that limited space we have for this use?
Mhm.
When it's allowed in other places? But yeah, that is understandable that a lot of times it is further out. But I mean, unless it happens to already be there,
Mhm.
would that be the best
Mhm.
way to use our limited amount of?
And I guess my last comment, and then I'll be quiet. For you guys to just give feedback, is just conditional, again, conditional, I think, allows us the freedom to really think through if this were to come at a time where the sewer system is fixed and we are experiencing explosive growth, for us really to be able to have the freedom to go, we're not sure it's conditional in this area. We're not sure that the growth is now allowing that to be a wise place for that to be, versus we just say automatically it's permitted and we don't have choice. That's my only, that's the last comment I have. Open to feedback or pushback or.
Why is the suggestion to be permitted in C2?
When we talked about it, I raised the question, what conditions are you setting on a cemetery? What condition would you set other than you denying a conditional use because you don't think that that use works right there?
Okay.
I stick with the setbacks, I mean, because they're not structures.
Yep.
Where you can actually have plots with the roads. Again, there's lighting that goes into cemeteries, or do they follow the same commercial lighting or not? And then well, not a lot, but there are several cemeteries with gates. Who don't do fencing in the front yards.
So why permitted in C2?
We didn't go down that rabbit hole of setbacks. It was just based on what conditions would you set in a cemetery? That's what staff discussed.
And also we looked at what other cities.
Doesn't it say change to permitted in C2? Staff recommendation?
That was our reasoning. We didn't discuss the building setbacks or anything like that.
Parking. You can get a lot of cars for a funeral sometimes.
They also park off of roads,
Right.
not so much in designated lots because you're going plot to plot.
Okay, so we wouldn't,
Anywhere that
I guess that was my question, we wouldn't hold them to the same standard.
Typically, your parking set on buildings, so if you had a true mausoleum.
Yeah,
you
by
would have
yeah.
parking spaces set on that. An office, which isn't typical, but they'd be set off of if there is a building on site. Still have to have it.
So is the recommendation from PC to change it back, like to leave it the way that it is currently?
When y'all are using allowed in staff findings, that's permitted, the same word. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So you
I
want
think so. I'm with Brandon.
it conditional?
I'm a conditional.
Okay, I'm putting y'all's changes today in green.
Well, that's nice.
Didn't even think about that. Go.
Okay, emergency services, fire and police. We kept it where we want to change it to permitted in all commercial. I wasn't here last week when I think we kind of deep dove the last time that I was here, but we kind of left it as a revisit. How are we feeling about it? I mean, on our end, it was emergency services, and again, it's that theory of like, you want to make it conditional so that you guys can see it again, but what conditions would you put? I mean, like, what would you regulate it versus anything else?
I think what we discussed here is like a fire station in a residential setting and things like that.
So siren noise.
That setbacks like togging, screening.
A lot of those are already, even if it's permitted in commercial, because we're looking at commercial, our new code does have screening requirements and setback requirements that would still pertain to emergency services.
Might be a stupid question. Does the state have certain laws or rules that you guys need to be within a certain distance of neighborhoods and things of the nature?
We use the ISO rating and we're very, very proud of the fact that we have a 2. The only thing better is a 1. We have to have certain mileage. And if you restrict us, that'll hurt that rating, which means your insurance go up. So my personal opinion, please don't limit us in the ability to better place our stations to where we can provide that coverage.
That wasn't my intent. It was more to sculpt the project around the area that you need to go in.
I think
Is it conditional in residential?
I think, yeah, I think it goes
Think
across the board. And then in industrial turns permitted. Or it might not even be allowed in like actual like R3SF. I don't think. See if I'm not sure quick.
Because we're currently looking,
Here,
I don't let me get ahead of chief, but Station 3, where it's currently at, west of town, does us no good. It's actually outside that. So that's gonna become our training site, which I think was thought process all along when it was
It's conditional.
almost 20 years ago. But we're looking at moving it more to Huber and Tycoon. In that new area, it kind of seems like, because what ISO does is they take your call volume and where it's at and the hotspots, and they want us to be within those hotspots. So that may be in the middle of a big giant subdivision. And you would have to speak with chief more on station placement because that's.
Response times, right?
And response times, yes, sir.
I think the concern I'm hearing is noise though, because you don't have to turn your siren on when you're pulling out in the middle of the night, right?
We use discretion. We no longer run like you used to see us, start the truck, immediately turn the siren on as you tear off out of the bay. Where chief hates that. Several of us have gotten the wrong end of a conversation. Let's put it nicely. But
You got them.
even there are some calls we don't even run license sirens to. Me personally, it'll be very rare that you ever see me turn on because after 25 years, I've grown to hate the sound of it. So like I said, I don't want to put restrictions and then we end up suffering later because that's where it needs to go to meet the ISO rating.
Yeah, I'm just,
It's not necessarily a restriction.
yeah, I don't want to call it a restriction because I think we would most likely approve a conditional, but so I don't think that, and haven't been here for the last 2 meetings. I'm just thinking, where you just mentioned, right? I mean, we purposely put commercial lots out there on a couple of corners, right? So in that example, if it was permitted, then it just saves time in my mind. If there was something that they needed to fly the lane quickly, and I'm just, again, trying to walk through. But that doesn't mean that we wouldn't, we're still gonna see it. It's still gonna go through the same processes. And then you go back to all the other setbacks and the other stuff. I could just envision a conditional use hearing on a fire station and people would probably complain about traffic. People would probably complain about noise and other things. But at the end of the day, I don't think they realize everything that goes behind it. I don't know. On this one, I'm kind of leaning towards permitted, but there's more of us than just myself. Because we see it and because of the processes we have in place from a commercial perspective.
I don't have a problem with permitted in C1 or C2. It's just the C3 where it's around a plethora of housing where we might want some additional conditions just for the sake of public interest. Not to dissuade you from putting one there, but just to say, hey, this one may need some more buffering just to help with the residential aspect. So that would be my recommendation is C1, C2 permit and C3 would be conditional.
I would say with that, you think about where they're talking about south side of town. Where is any commercial we rezoned south of town where they're looking where their growth is. None of that's obviously C2 for highway, and none of it's C1 for downtown. So if there's anything they're talking about down there, you are saying it's gonna be a conditional thing to do any of that, so growth.
I'm not saying we're restricting.
Right now,
It's conditional.
so it's just allowing it in additional zoning districts, which I showed on the schedule that it was actually conditional in I1 and I2. This states that it's permitted. Is that our recommendation or?
These are the,
Could not tell you why that is the way that it is. 'Cause we
Yeah.
didn't do that. Cause those are supposed to be what it currently is.
Right.
I'm so grateful y'all did the staff findings, because that's just so helpful to see what people are doing around us, so thank you for doing that. I mean, Bentonville's got a conditional across all, I mean, they're the most developed out of all of the ones that you did findings, and there's conditional all the way across. I think, again, that goes back to what I said in the first time of, I think just gives them some freedom. I do agree with you, though, under conditional. If you go to put something, public's gonna come and have a conversation about it.
Doesn't matter if you put it in C2, somebody is gonna have
Yeah.
something to say about it.
Yeah.
But our development code, I mean, it does buffer real well. We've got noise requirements, we've got lighting requirements. I mean, it's a neighborhood a necessity, you know, so.
I know that you didn't by chance have a conversation of asking Bentonville why they are conditional across everything when it comes to this, did you?
No,
I mean, it seemed to
no,
be-
we just looked at their.
Yeah, okay.
I think people are, every time we looked at somebody else's scheduled uses, it felt like somebody was following somebody else, but somebody was following somebody else.
Right, sure.
So it all kind of, I think, trickles down, and I don't think we dove into like Fayetteville, they might have been pulling, that sort of thing.
That's great.
Cause it is different across the, like, there's, Bella Vista has their safety services. Is permitted in all zoning, so,
Yeah, but those additional.
yeah, it's just
Cape
different everywhere.
Franks, all commercial and industrial permitted.
But if you guys wanna do permitted in C1, C2, it's the change, so. I'll do the conditional in C3. Up to you guys.
That's fine. You all agree to that? Let's do that.
C1. This is no.
I'm not sure if government agencies just got roped in here because we were down a deep dive of emergency services the last meeting I was at. But we didn't request any changes to what it currently is.
You like your city hall. Water, not maintenance yard, but like water, certain utilities. Fire department, police department.
Like
Maybe
office.
office space, not maintenance yard. Those are in industrial. Or they're in another section. They're a whole different animal.
Y'all good with those?
Yeah.
Jail or correctional facility?
Yes, we had a long conversation about, we learned a lot. So essentially for this one, it's, we broke it out into two uses. Jail and detention facility, and then prison and correctional facility. So jail and detention is on that smaller scale. Christian learned a whole lot about jails and prisons.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah, we did go down a rabbit hole. Jail
Not
and
from personal experience.
yeah, no. We were learning the difference between detention facilities, correction facilities, prisons and jails and all that fun stuff. So, your jail and detention facilities is at that smaller scale. Our police department could have a jail inside of it. Typically people are held at jail and then they get put to prison type deal. So, we just split it out into two uses. That way jail and detention facility is conditional in C1 and C2. And then prison and correctional facility is removed from commercial and it's conditional in our industrial zones. That's the way staff saw it, so.
What is it in ag?
You might as well just go ahead and pull up the actual schedule of uses.
In the past, jail was conditional in C2, permitted in I1, I2, and conditional in agriculture.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think we want that.
Conditional, yeah.
Sir, it could be a beat right over here. C3, people could go see their family real easy.
There, that's true.
Maximum
I don't think
security.
C3 is quite big enough for that. And we also have a fire station.
Fire station compared to a prison?
The prison's like huge.
Now we're comparing apples to oranges again. Comparing a fire station to a prison is.
Are you guys good with the recommendation?
Good.
Before these guys end up there. Alcohol manufacturing, microbrewery and restaurants.
You want your.
Oh,
I want someone else to share this, cause y'all went on a deep dive when I wasn't here, yeah. This was a bigger conversation the last time, sorry, wasn't here. Okay, so I think we had discussed taking off alcohol manufacturing because we have that use in the industrial section. So we were just going to call it microbrewery / restaurant. And it would be permitted in C1, C2, and conditional in C3. So previously, we had discussed putting or changing it into two uses. Those two uses being microbrewery and restaurant, and then brewery / regional brewery. And now we're suggesting just microbrewery / restaurant. Since we already have the distribution side of it.
Yeah,
and
that's a whole different animal.
industrial, yeah.
Yeah.
The main thing for the original is removing alcohol manufacturing and making it permitted in C1 and C2.
So if somebody wanted to produce beer on site under a microbrew,
A Bentonville brewery.
yes, it would be conditional or permitted. In
A Bentonville brewery,
C1, C2, and C3.
yeah, permitted in C1 and C2, yeah, conditional to.
Conditional in C3.
Conditional on C3.
And then over in the staff findings, we also provided I believe it was from, no, we looked it up, the microbrewery restaurant, what an actual like definition is. So they're not producing huge amounts of liquor, like maybe 50, at the max, 15,000 barrels a day. They're focusing on quality, direct to consumer sales, and dealing with, food, things like that. A lot of that they're gonna be selling out of there is gonna be, cans that you could take with you to go home, like 6-packs, like Bentonville Brewing, things like that too.
So are y'all good with this breakout?
You like it?
All right, progress. Grocery store.
So we're yelling at you in this one, but we say, remove and keep under retail. Thoughts? It would just be under our retail use.
It makes sense to me, but y'all good with that? All right, even though you yelled at us.
Yeah, bold letters. It was bolded and everything.
And capital.
It's bolded and it's uppercase. It's
Meaning-
too.
Oh, wow.
Restaurant.
What keeps, just one question.
Uh-huh.
What keeps like a really big box store out of a neighborhood commercial?
The size of the lot,
Where they could buy multiple lots?
then like, I mean, you're talking about like a super center.
Yeah, that or like a,
But if you go down to retail, it's really big, then it goes to conditional in C1 and
Yeah.
conditional in C3.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah. I did forget our retails are separated out by sizing.
Joey's trying to move us on. All right, restaurant,
Yep.
diner.
Good with that.
We were talking about keeping restaurant and diner, separating it just like we do retail, essentially, the scalability. And then having the small scale permitted across all commercial zones and the larger scale, allowed in C1 and C2 and conditional in C3.
Do we want to keep it the same as our retail of 4,000 square feet, though?
Oh, yeah.
I think we talked about changing it so that it would be the same.
Wouldn't that just fall back under retail?
Restaurants have different, like, parking, well,
I mean, in this case,
Build.
Yeah, right?
drive-throughs get I mean, I think it just, drive-throughs get tricky. They have their own development code section. I mean, they're their own separate from they're their own separate from retail, even in all of our code.
If you wanted to come in and build another McDonald's, would you have looked at it as retail or would you look for a restaurant use?
Just saying, it goes to exactly the same permitted uses.
It does, but now when you're actually looking at it, I wouldn't have thought to ever think.
Yeah, I agree.
For that, so.
Just to keep them, because it's so separate in our code, to keep them separate in that nature.
y'all good with those?
Just curious, who ever clarified the 5,000 square feet? Is that the lot or the building?
Gotta be the building.
The building, on our development code, it is 5,000 square feet.
On the application.
Entire, yes, the application, it's for the.
That's a large scale, small scale.
So, yeah, yes. So that's why we've got to keep it different.
They're not, I think we decided they're not linked at all.
Only.
Yeah.
So we're leaving it 5,000 square feet?
Or,
Okay.
Yeah, changing it.
All right, wanted to make sure before I type that in there.
Um,
there was the question on, oh, okay, you're on retail now.
Yeah. Retail, keeping the
Yeah, I ran in.
what's permitted, but we kind of made the comment about removing it from industrial. And then leaving it as 4,000 square feet. Which is the square footage of the building. Thoughts?
I don't disagree with it coming out of industrial.
Disagree with,
I don't.
you don't disagree, okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
What if you have a big parts store that's a retail store? They might also sell implements, but it's a retail.
Still retail,
Heritage Tractor or something like that.
Do we really want it in industrial?
but it's in, it can be in I1, right?
We were talking about removing it from industrial altogether.
Let's have removed from I2.
It just says.
Remove from two, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so it'd be permitted in I1, just not I2. Cause a Home Depot could be a good buffer in I1. But maybe not in a heavier next to plants of sorts. Yeah, people parking, customers coming in and out, but.
Well, let's see. What about a farm and home supply? I2.
That's gonna be
I
bigger
mean, if
than,
you had it next to an elevator, grain elevator. Just throwing it out there.
I promise you Lorraine was in the room when we discussed these.
that's likely gonna be bigger than 1,000 square feet.
Feeling betrayed.
Right.
Talk about
looking at both of
Under
them.
60 by
Okay.
80,
I-
you've already exceeded it, and anything with that, it's gonna be bigger than 40 by or
Okay,
60 by
that
80.
goes to the next line conversation.
4,000
Small-
beats like a Dollar General or something, right?
Dollar General's bigger than 4,000.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we definitely don't want something that small. And I2.
Hey, are y'all good with that then?
Right, so you're with the,
We gotta go back up to the restaurant diner.
Mm.
There we go. We forgot.
I'll let you deep dive on this.
Okay, there was conversation about removing restaurants out of being allowed in I2. Which I was like, well, where are people going to go eat? And then But I got thinking about cafeterias, mostly if they're really big industrial, I2. They would have their own cafeteria, which would not be a restaurant. But is there really a problem with allowing a restaurant in I2?
I think we've been talking tonight about it's, if we allow them there, it prevents us from actually having a true industry come into town. Right, and diversify everything.
Yeah.
And I think it ought to be consistent with the retail. If you're removing it with the small. Well, I mean, I don't.
I'd agree if you're heavy industrial, a restaurant isn't heavy industrial.
Yeah.
I'd say take it out of both the industrial.
One.
The small scale restaurant, I don't even think we have noted on here to keep it industrial anyway.
No. That's permanent across
All commercial zones. And then the large scale. We talked about conditional and industrial, because she did make a good point about how the people in industry may like want a place to go get lunch, it could be, you know, whatever. And we did research on it, just stating to keep it as a conditional if it's like a larger scale, like over 5,000 square feet. So that it could come back to us and we could set conditions on it. It can be an accessory to the structure of the industrial park. It can be like that sort of thing.
We allow, did we allow food trucks to stay in industrial?
Conditional.
Across the board.
Was
That's
kind of,
really what you're gonna find.
yeah, so I think if those are there,
We don't need the actual restaurant itself.
my thoughts, I mean, I don't know.
Well, you're saying if those are there, don't allow the restaurant, or if those
Well-
are there, allow them conditionally?
Conditionally, I
Yeah,
think, sorry, yeah.
I agree.
I still know, I think about like Russell Knives off of 49, there's a steakhouse right next to it. Is Russell Knives in commercial or industrial?
Commercial.
Commercial.
Okay, like I said, I don't really know, but I was just thinking if you're there.
Cause they probably have more manufacturer space than they do.
Warehousing and
Where-
retail.
If it's,
The retail is like this big.
But
I think it makes sense what you're saying about food trucks out in the industrial area. That just makes sense, but if we were laid out with the restaurants and stuff being more along highway and downtown sector, which is really what we want to keep them.
to walk
I
out.
want my families to drive out to an industrial area just to.
To a Chili's.
John, I think you're not living in the industrial area, so these guys they all have cars. They can jump in the car and drive 5 minutes down the road to get lunch.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
So in the large scale, do we want it between both of them, small scale and large scale? Do we want restaurants to be allowed at all? Do we want large scale to be conditional? How do we want to set it up? Not allowed in industrial for small scale, conditional in I1 for large scale?
My opinion would be not allowed to conditional in one, just because if you're a caterer, if you do serve as it, that would be a conditional thing in I1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
Large scale conditional in I1. That'll come to you guys anyway, and we can set conditions to it and. Go from there. Also the market too, if people see a market for it, they'll ask, so.
All right, we're good with that.
Okay, so large scale conditional in I1. Change 4,000 feet as the cutoff.
Yep.
Or square feet, not
Yep.
feet. All right. After retail.
Oh, yeah. So. Well, no, we talked about. Oh, we did
We haven't done
the
the big
small scale, so the large scale. Same as 125, but we add the question marks for moving it from I2 or having it conditional in I2. And that's that kind of thing. The small scale we're removing from I2, we should make it conditional or remove it.
I like it being conditional. What do y'all think?
Yeah, conditional.
Okay. And then we have our new uses for consideration. So these uses don't already exist.
In ours.
In our code or in our schedule of uses. So the first one is a data center. We would move it to the industrial and warehousing section of the schedule of uses. And make it only conditional in I2. I think as of, obviously, right now, we don't know enough about data centers to just allow it by right. Yeah.
Water, electricity.
They affect a lot of things. So-
There's a big one right now being fought in agriculture.
So we said I2, but let's make it conditional so that we maybe get a better understanding of it.
And you brought up agriculture. Right now, we weren't considering agriculture. Would that be something that would be allowed or conditional or just absolutely nowhere else except for I2?
I think that is.
I too only.
You have water.
2 only, conditional. Something a little bit more fun, an aquarium. We have a zoo, but we didn't add aquarium. We talked about moving it to that NEPA section of our schedule of uses. Making it conditional in C1 and permitted in C2.
And I didn't just magically dream up these different uses. They are actually uses that I thought would be good for us to have that are in like Bentonville, for example, or Cave Springs. They had too many weird ones. But like Bella Vista or Rogers, Bentonville.
Ridge. Yeah.
I think those are fine. You go with those?
Aquarium is good. Landscape material sales, outdoor / bulk, moving it to services and retail and making it conditional in C2 and permitted in I1. That feels like a very in-between industrial versus.
That's talking about like where you would get like, a bed full of rock or
Big nursery or something.
wrecked or
So like,
bulk, things like
so
that.
like right now, I'm just trying to think like where we access that, that's on, right near Walmart neighborhood.
Mhm.
You can get rock there, Boggles.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Well, there's like.
Well, you can get that there, that's at the Midland town. It feels like if we're pushing it all the way out to industrial versus,
Would be
Conditional.
Not allowed, it would just,
The rocks place on the corner of Elm Tree and 102.
that's what he was talking about.
okay.
It makes sense. I mean, you could have that as a scrap product off of one of your industries even.
Good buffer too.
On highway where you're,
What's that?
it's also on highway, which is C2,
So, but
where your roads are built.
if we had a gardens, like this is different than like the garden center, because didn't we talk about garden center as well?
Yes.
So this would be just its own individual business. If a garden center had this, do they have to then?
No, it falls under
That's
the
a
retail.
retail.
Okay.
Now, this would be like your big bulk
I
stuff.
guess that's what I was thinking. Okay.
1-to-1 in Fort Smith that you could get, bulk mulch or
Yeah.
bulk rocks and
Yeah,
they fill up, the bed of your pickup truck or your trailer. And it was in an industrial area.
So we're good with that?
I think we're good.
Taxidermy. I don't have much to say about it.
I2 seems, it seems pretty light for I2.
What about ag?
We're not there yet. This is new.
It's allowed, I believe. Well,
We
I
don't
think
have
it could be an in-home business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's mostly what they are.
it's got a hobby in a garage, make a little
I
money.
think also, I hate to say it, it should match maybe a funeral home. Sorry, that sounds so bad. But they use formaldehyde.
Different, there's different
Yeah.
chemicals and quantities.
That
For R3.
seen some of the facilities, they're scary.
People just send them off to get tanned and they just do the work on the actual mount, right?
I can't see,
know anything about taxidermy?
I can't see them being in I2 or in any industrial, but
That's, yeah.
we remove them from there.
Remove them from what?
Industrial.
Not even I1. Had a big one.
I don't think so. I don't think
Elephant.
I'm sorry, one thing I didn't hear was, does taxidermy have any agriculture?
Yes, I just put, we don't have it now, so I made a note I'm in the process of.
It's a new
typing it.
use.
Gotta be
so
allowed in a.
I haven't discussed it yet.
I don't type as fast as they do.
Okay.
In commercial, you mean?
No.
Sidewalk cafe. I don't know what that means, Diane.
That would be like where you could have outdoor seating or just have a little walk-up window with outdoor seating.
Like Black Table Mesa,
Right.
where
Why would that not be restaurant diner under 5,000 square feet?
Which is one of those I looked and they had that in Bentonville and I thought, well, maybe we want to discuss this.
The reason I think that they might, the only thing that I can think of is that it is like how they have their square and it goes right up to the sidewalk. Like it's an actual, like, it goes within the right of, like it's right up against it. It could be a little bit different than just treating it like less than 4,000 square feet of restaurant. But that's the only thing I can think.
On the square too, I could see there being different like parking,
Yeah.
like if it's more.
And you see the seating within the right of way and you see like all of that stuff. That's the only thing that I envision a sidewalk cafe being is like, it's a walk-up window, but we also have seating on the other side of the sidewalk.
Well, you look at what you did for Mary Matrons, it was a conditional use, cause they walk up that didn't have the parking available. They just fall.
Well, you can sit down in that, and they got a variance for their parking. I don't think you have.
Exactly, that's what I.
There's variances. Right?
Just a variance, yeah.
So you do a variance for it, if that's what you're looking for, to reduce your parking for walk up.
But we do have some areas where they have like a large sidewalk island or something, you know, the way it curves around and that they had a large area and fire department and I looked at it and yeah, they had room for tables and umbrellas. So we didn't really have an issue with it.
Or courtyards.
It's just something that I think is kind of like, yeah, an individual.
I think if we got like a mixed use and somebody wanted to put like a cafe in the middle of a courtyard, that's what a sidewalk cafe is to me.
But would it,
Why isn't it a restaurant?
It's a food truck.
but there, it's usually tied to a restaurant, is it not?
Typically, yes.
Or we-
It's a walk-through window.
A walk through what?
Instead of driving through, you walk through. That's what it sounds like to me.
I think we need to do more research on it.
I don't know that
The
we-
difference.
I think we
don't
need a
know the difference.
definition for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I'm
Definition.
thinking it could go away and
So you can interpret it so many different ways, I think.
Oh.
might be able to take that one off, but,
We watch, we'll take it off, get her downtown and then it'll become a problem.
Again, honestly,
Mark
when
our
other
words.
people, when other people have that, I thought, well, maybe we.
That's a good.
EV charging station.
Why do these need their own use?
Well, let me tell you,
Yeah, let me tell.
Yeah.
Let me hear you.
think about EV charging stations. So, because I'm currently dealing with them at our neighborhood Walmart. Because it's an existing use, I'll put it both ways. Existing uses like to bring in EV charging stations and still count those parking spaces as like parking for that retail space, right? But some people can literally come to that neighborhood Walmart and sit in their car and not use that retail space at all.
Yeah.
So it's taking up parking spaces that
How many is it taking up?
the EV charging stations at the neighborhood Walmart, like 11.
We also had the issue come up with some apartments.
Yeah.
Then you just, so
I'm trying to figure out how you, I mean,
how are you gonna define that use to it? Normally, that's like a whole parcel.
But we're just looking at making it conditional.
Yeah.
So that we can review where those locations are because there's fire codes.
It says permitted, but then it says.
I changed that.
It's confusing.
But-
then.
She added that and then we didn't go back and.
So-
you apply it if something's already there. I mean,
Yeah, that was my question.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
so I'm just picturing, let's just use a super center because we just did it, right? So on their parking spots, did they designate some already as like EV charging on the,
Not the super center, no.
but I'm assuming they'll have them.
No.
So let's say they were, How would you treat it different?
We'd make them come and get a conditional use specifically for those EV charging stations, and they would be reviewed as their own thing because they do require
What are the,
electrical, fire code. I mean, they've got different standards than we do within our code.
is that what Rogers and Bentonville and the others do?
I don't know.
Bentonville had them permitted across the board in commercial and industrial.
But
But
what
we
would
make them
they do
a
from a,
Site for EV charging
what
stations.
would they do from a parking lot perspective? So at the Sam's Club where they retrofitted over in Rogers and, you know, they designated them, or even some of the Walmart, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how we treat them, how we would actually treat them different, looking at.
Yeah, are you saying that if that reduces their parking, that they need to make up that parking somewhere else on that site?
If them putting in EV charging stations puts them below what their requirement is, then yes. Thankfully, the neighborhood Walmart is not below that. They were cutting it, but that wasn't the case in this situation. But we do make them come and get a minor site improvement with us currently for EV charging stations.
Yeah, and I can
This
see
is
that.
the standard to them, but we're talking like if it's a new construction. They cannot be
They
counted.
just go in the park.
I think we need a little more information around how they're actually treated, what the differences are and things like that. I'm trying to figure, I mean, 'cause there's absolutely, I mean, I get what you're saying. Is there are transient people that would stop is what you're saying?
Well, also they could go, oh man, I really need gas, but I don't need a grocery, so I'm just gonna park here, read my book while I charge my car.
So is it more of a note in Title 15 saying EV stations don't count towards your parking count and not a schedule of use comment?
If that's the true intent, I think that's a better fit, but I still don't know that, there's a lot of people that probably charge their car while they're shopping too.
I'm sure I would, cause that's better than sitting in your car staring at nothing.
It's the only open spot. I park my truck there. Same.
You got hot springs and you.
I don't know. I just think
What about the people who can't charge their car there? And they just park there?
There's always open EV parking spots.
yeah, it's for me. I don't know. I just think I think we need a little more understanding.
Anybody out, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out yeah, I think we just need to understand a little bit more about what we're trying to accomplish in regards to that. And if, you know, if they want to put 3 charging stations, is that a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, cause it gets people to town is the way I would look at it.
I don't think they're a bad thing. They just cannot just, to me, if an existing facility that already has parking, like doesn't. We're putting them in a position where it is permitted or what have you for them to just put them in without coming to us at all.
But we
too,
just-
so.
Yeah, but I don't know that you have to designate it as a whole use for that problem to get solved.
This would be if people are just buying a piece of land.
Yeah, that's how I take it. Yeah, it's a parking lot full of nothing but EV
Well, but we
charging stations.
produce that have multiple uses on them that require, some are permitted and some are conditional, like our centers and pickleball courts.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think we need to figure a little bit more out about what we're trying to do. Cause if they put up 3 charging stations and
Yeah.
I don't know, let's just have some, I mean, I hate to have more discussion, but I think that one, we're not gonna agree to.
We're just gonna do research and tell you what we're gonna, no, I'm just kidding. We'll
Make
discuss.
sure you put it in bold,
Yeah, I know, I'm gonna yell at you.
please.
Yep. She was the one driving that day.
I was
Yeah.
the one typing all of it.
We got it.
I rotated the type.
Yeah,
Landfill,
but we're making, oh, yeah, landfill, sorry, my bad. Move to industrial and warehousing and conditioning. Yep.
Just in case.
How would we feel about A1? Someone's gonna say it.
I was thinking it.
I know.
Conditional.
I can't wait till we get to I1 and it's gonna be so quick because we already talked about it.
We make landfill not permitted anywhere?
that's where I was going.
Yes, I do hate to say it, they're kind of beneficial, especially when one landfill.
I don't know if you've seen what's going on in Tony Town.
Oh yeah, they have a hot mess.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're.
Seems like,
Months is ago.
it seems like big landfills getting moved, like not even,
Timbuktu.
yeah.
So just conditional in A1,
Mm-mm.
remove from industrial?
Or just remove altogether, say, hey, you're not putting one here.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm in that. I know there-
State laws for that?
I think so.
No,
Brian?
I don't know.
Brian?
Research.
Here you go ahead.
Have any ideas on state laws on landfills?
None. I have no clue. We could ask Tiny Town.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian, we had one question for you tonight and
Yeah, yeah. That's, I didn't take landfills in law school.
I didn't realize we were gonna be in this direction, but, which I agree with you guys on, but I have the same feeling about the data center.
I
And the
put
reason-
that in there because thinking there's going to be something come up at the state level at some.
I want to deal with it, not personally. No.
Either.
I feel the same way about the data center, just based on the news that I've seen and read about them. With the noise pollution and the, all of that. So the state tells us we have to do that.
But if-
Landfill and data center all.
But if we already have something in our code saying that there is conditional, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they will say. You know, leave that, that's grandfathered as that.
We already have it.
Because you already have it, but from this day forward, they have to be. Allowed conditional or something.
But we don't have either.
Worries about noise pollution, you can set the condition that you have no noise leaving the site.
Like
Means
set
they're
whatever
covered inside the
There's
insulation.
that, I think there's not just noise pollution, I think there's other pollution that comes with
Environmental
it.
effects.
It takes, septic takes, all that.
Huge.
Energy and water that they've sucked down.
Yeah. Huge.
And reducing the demand and all this that the residents pay.
We know how much water.
I think if we leave it as a conditional though, we can.
Speeds do not.
Probably put in do that.
So.
Mason's
Well,
not on-
Yeah.
on the side. Is it smell? What do we, what's the?
Lorraine would like the floor.
Smell toxic.
All right,
Your floor.
we have one more to throw at you.
Oh,
Music and dance venue. Where did you put it in the schedule? Uses, you can't really find a good place because it involves noise, music, parking.
We talked about it. It's unrecommended, yeah.
You go back to the commercial industrial zone.
Sorry, I'm gonna pull it up so we can start somewhere.
We did talk about it. I don't remember if we.
Can't remember.
Bar tavern,
Yeah, we.
Oh, yeah,
The theater.
no,
We have two of them in town, right?
We're about to have one,
We have two of them in town.
right?
we,
The other one may not be in town.
Too.
The other one on 72 is not in town, is it?
Can you control F?
Why would it be theater? Theater like would
It was
be,
outdoor recreation or indoor.
there was indoor theater and outdoor theater too.
We type music. Yeah, let's find it first.
oh.
Oh, I don't think we used it. Yeah, right here.
Talking about something like
Community
that.
and event center. We were talking about separating it into two pieces, community recreation center.
nothing,
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about where it should go. I'm going to get it up there so that we do.
nothing really community within.
I think you wanna, I guess at least conditional and see what.
A community center or an event center.
Yes, so they wouldn't be serving.
Used for music venues
It's
or indoor.
down.
Indoor falls 42. Outdoor would be conditional across the board.
Yeah, cause I said, let's separate some uses up here and have music venue indoor and music venue outdoor as two separate uses. And then we were like, that's a little redundant. So we went back and we put indoor just falls under event venue. And we said permit it in C1 and C2 and conditional in C3. That's what we discussed, right? Sorry.
Are your thoughts, Lorraine, they should all be conditional, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's gonna depend on the size of some of this and what's adjacent to it. We've got someone that's wanting to leave. If we have a music venue and they're wanting to do it in a C2, but we've done that parking for retail and.
You have EV
look at
chargers?
Assembly use. We have a problem with assembly use in a retail space. Is our problem.
They're coming in and doing, like, going into a place that's retail is allowed. And their parking,
They park the
yeah,
whole
their,
thing.
their parking is only allowed for retail, because it's 1 per 2 square feet. And then they're changing it from retail to assembly, or trying to do an assembly use, which per our schedule of uses is allowed by right, but then changes the use in the parking regulation world to an assembly, which is 1 per 3 people. Which requires more parking than what regular retail would be.
These are all standards we already have.
I mean, yes,
Yes.
in a way. But we started talking about the possibility of when we do add this event venue, that is the indoor space for an event venue.
It's also a
maybe-
retail space.
Well, no, I'm talking about just the use in general for event venue. Maybe changing it from being permitted like in C1 and C2 and doing conditions to set parking standards.
When somebody comes in for a change in use, are we not evaluating the parking?
It's not,
We don't always know until after the fact.
I know that,
We've got several that have been given business licenses without, as like it, affordable storage. I don't know if you've noticed all the vehicles parked out there. That was, the
Yeah.
building was designed for an office with a residential unit. I understand it wasn't put that way, but so they were allowed to get by with less parking, how many do you need? Parking spaces do you need for?
Storage.
Mini storage. So now there's 3 businesses operating out of there. There's 2 trailers, a hair shop, and I don't know.
Taxi?
Service, yeah.
taxi service, yeah,
Taxi service.
in our office space versus our retail has
So,
like a
which
different
is
parking.
allowed in C2, but the parking and the accommodations.
Yeah, I mean, personally, that sounds like a code enforcement problem. And a review for the change in use.
But but the thing is too, they could have looked at the schedule use that says, oh, I'm in C2, I'm allowed to do that.
Right.
Right.
But it's,
Your site's not set up for it.
that's where we're stuck.
Code enforcement, no, whether the site is or is not set up for.
Yeah,
In
right.
order
They
to.
give you a review every time they go.
On the grass, they would come
Do it.
they can.
I mean, that's, I think how it has to go.
I mean, I haven't turned the RV trailer into the car wash yet, but it's on my list to do.
Hey, I learned last time that you go in the exact opposite way that I didn't think you would. Yeah, remember that?
I was with you.
Thank you, why don't you let me hang out till
Wait a minute.
man?
With you, man. You take it, go in and go.
We've digressed, so
So we're gonna do our research, right? I mean, we have meetings and stuff set up to talk about it and
it seems,
to them.
it seems to me like indoor and outdoor probably need all the similar rules, honestly. Because we're all gonna be worried about the same thing, noise, parking, I mean, everything together. That would, maybe that makes it easier, I don't know.
What is where the amp is, what is that? Oh, Lord, I. have
I
no
think
idea.
it's just commercial,
Yeah,
or it's some sort of commercial neighborhood, something node,
yeah, I don't,
it's something odd.
like the Walmart amp. in
Yeah, the
Rogers.
amp.
I don't know what that zone is.
Totally different thing than what do you have?
But then you got things like the
Like an up.
area, which is a combination.
Yeah.
And there's a little tiny one in downtown Rogers that used to be a jewelry shop that's now a little music venue.
Many of
So-
plaza music venues, yeah.
Thoughts on just conditional across the board because of how varied this use could be. There is not a one size fits all situation, in my opinion.
And we did do that before. The Raventon was a conditional.
And in commercial though, what are we worried about? The noise and the.
Parking mostly around it.
The noise, well, the noise, yes, because it abuts residential, but also because of the parking issue.
Well, and you'd also say the concern, if you are in a
Occupancy.
multiple. Venue like a strip mall or retail center. You're doing that on one side and I have mine right next to it, it's always through it. Would then your business interrupt and impact my business next to it? If that's your concern, that's what I'm looking at, if you do like a strip center. there's still open spots there.
Why Tony C's didn't go in.
Health spa and massage.
I think that would be like a conditional for C.
Already.
Yeah, I'm,
Two.
Downtown,
I'm not opposed to the all conditional. But I think we should understand a little bit more. I mean, what's the definition? What are some other?
Well, it's just that it's so varied, the size of an event.
You could have something like the amp, or you could have a club or something. Yeah.
You could also have something like a wedding venue that doesn't produce.
It's now gonna be a music word.
Oh, I guess we are talking about music venue, aren't we?
Well,
They
well,
do play music.
Our use is just called event venue. So it would just be an event venue.
Why I wanted to separate it, guys. Okay.
Well, the good thing is it'll allow you to do a little more research.
You know how many times we have been excited? So we can-
You just yell at me?
I did not.
They've been out of.
So you send me the next email. Will you come sign this? I'll be like, no.
No, don't.
Sit wherever we.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Okay, and then for the next meeting, if you wanna put together the schedule of meetings of everything across the board.
Start over?
Including agriculture.
Start over. And start over?
No. Yeah, next time with the changes, the recommended changes, we're
Make
gonna,
sure it's what.
it's not recommended anymore.
Restaurants and restaurant 2.0.
It's set.
We're
All right.
With you?
also going to bring about Liza.
Chilla Farms coming.
Did.
In the butcher shop, the slaughterhouse?
One.
I like that.
All right. Anything else on schedule of uses? Thank you. We have a planning meeting the 4th of April. If you can't be here, let us know. There's a council meeting that will be the 14th.
Basically.
What did I say?
4th.
Sorry, 7th.
I'm still
I'm out of practice.
It's on your paper.
I'm out of practice.
Believed you.
April 7th. The council meeting's the 14th.
Okay.
Anything else?
Tech review is Thursday.
Tech review is Thursday. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
No move.
Anybody opposed?
Thank
See you, Brian.
Thank you.